Hello, everyone, and welcome to Magic the Gathering Arena. I am SeiferKatt, and today I'm going to start a new challenge. So, I don't know what to call this challenge, I'm calling it the Rare Card Challenge. The idea is, what we're going to do is we are going to we're going to find a random card that is in Historic, that is either rare or mythic rare. And then it's going to be a completely random card, then we're going to get 4 copies of that card, and then we're trying to make a deck around that card. And the goal is in a 10 game streak, we want to have at least 5 wins in that 10 game streak. So, if you get to the 11th game, the first game drops off, and so it's sort of just right? That's the plan. We are playing Historic, so that does mean if you don't like Alchemy cards, boo-hoo, we're going to see Alchemy cards. I like Alchemy, so, whatever. And there's going to be the full range of cards that are available in Magic Arena. So we are also going to be playing against opponents that will have far more powerful decks. Is it possible that the reason we win 5 and 10 games is just because pure luck and people conceded 5 times? Yes, and I'll accept that. So also, another thing I'd like to add, if it is very clear that it's not possible to make a deck, I'll explain Alchemy in a second. If it's not possible to make a deck with the card, or if it's just not going to be an inspired deck, for instance, if the rare card I got was a dual land, that's not a deck you build a card around. Now, Alchemy is an interesting thing. Let's talk about Alchemy for a second, because people might not know Alchemy. Now, Alchemy is, if you look on Magic Arena, like forums, anything, and look up Alchemy, you will see nothing but vitriol for it. And that makes me sad, because I love Alchemy. Alchemy is online-only cards, and they do things that only online cards can do. And also they can balance adjust things. So, oh, this card's too strong. Rather than ban it, they nerf it. Paper players hate this because you can't nerf a card. You can nerf a digital card. And also the cards do things that you can't normally do. So, for instance, draw 2 cards. This is just an example. Draw 2 cards, the non-land cards in your hand with 3 or less mana value. Perpetually gain when you cast a spell, you lose 1 card. So basically, someone scribbles on the card for that game, yeah, here's some more rules for this card. Magic players really like, or really do not like these sorts of things happening. For instance, these cards, draft cards from the spellbook. Did you ever play Hearthstone that made you pick between 3 cards? That's kind of what this does. And so it's like, oh, you can have 3 of these 15 and choose which one you like. And it creates it as a card, not a token. Yeah, Magic players are not okay with this. Me, I embrace the randomness. I embrace the craziness. But it does change the game into a thing that is different from going to like an actual tournament with your paper cards, because these are cards that do not work that way. They cannot work that way. It was actually a really fun thing, which I'm going to show off, and then I'm actually going to get started. So I'm looking for which hitter. Here we go. So they had a thing called Specialize, where you've got your card, you can specialize it, and then you can specialize it into different colors, which I thought was really cool. So it's like a green one, the white one, the blue one, the black one, the red one. So yeah, it's kind of fun. Also, if you played Baldur's Gate, there's your hitter. I thought that was fun. All right. So anyway, let's get started, shall we? Now that we've explained what alchemy is. So, we're going to go into this mode right. There we go, Firefox. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about this card. This is just something I just click random card, so we went straight there. So what we're going to do is we're going to click random card, and it's going to give us a card, and then we're going to get 4 copies of that card, and then build around it. And the card is Swarm Shambler. Okay. Swarm Shambler enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, so it's a 1/1. Not exactly excited yet. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, create an insect token, and then you can also make it stronger. I don't know if I love this, but okay. We've got insects. We've got counters. That's what we're building. Okay. So here's what I'm saying. Now at this point, I'm trying to make a deck out of that. Sounds like the Spike deck from ancient days. Yeah, except Spike deck was moving tokens around, if I remember rightly. So what was that card called again? So you're going to make Historic. Buy Historic because it has more cards and it's fun. For me. Okay, so step 1, we need 4 of these. Okay, so we do have to craft 3 of them. That's okay. Where are we going to put myself? I'm going to put myself somewhere that I'm not in the way. Out of the way, safe. You don't need to be there. Okay, so counters. We could just go mono green. That is an option, and it makes these insects with cool little horns. You know what? Let's check something. Plenty of stuff to bounce around in a +1/+1 counter deck setup. There is. So let's just go green at the moment. Let's see if we do anything with insects. The problem is it needs to be targets of spells that my opponent controls. So we can't trust that my opponents are ever going to be firing at my monsters. Yeah, that's true. But what we want to do is probably have things they want to kill that make insects. And then if we do anything with those insects, maybe that's good. So maybe if everything entered play with a +1/+1 counter on it, maybe. That's an option. I'm just seeing if there's any cool insects that like, do we have any insect tribal? Let's go into not collected as well. Is insect tribal even a thing? I don't bloody know. Can we... So, we know we get... Now, the good news is, this is playable on curve. It's a 1 cost thing. When you just play, put a +1/+1 on creatures. Everything with +1/+1 has trample. Okay. We'd also do some fun stuff if we had a way to untap it easily. That's another option we could go with. Crawling infestation, mill cards. That's just going to make more insects. Flex. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, or spiders you control get +1/+1. Look, we're going to click on Blex for now. We might go with Blex, we might not. Here's a little dude that gets slightly bigger. Yeah, exactly. If you counter it, the token will stay. What if I go insect counter? Does that give me anything interesting? See, now this is interesting. At the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 green insect creature. Each +1/+1 counter you've put on creatures under your control this turn. So you can make a lot of little creatures. You're putting a lot of tokens on. You put in a lot of creatures. Okay. Look, you know what? Let's go 4 of those for now. Don't know if I love it. But it's an option. As apparently everything. Do you have anything that's not in green? Check what the other colors are for not green. We've got a brood moth. When a creature you control without flying dies, return it to battlefield. Although we're going to be dealing with tokens. Unfortunately, doubling season is not in arena. A doubling season would be a good choice. White beetle. Creatures your opponents control cannot have +1/+1 counters put on them. It's almost the literal opposite of what I want. Opponents can't have +1/+1? Okay, well, don't really care. Fretwork colony. I know doubling season. I think I wanted it at one point and I just saw how much it was. I was like, no. Whenever you put one or more -1/-1 counters, okay, so insects are possible. That man, by the way, is having a bad day. This was from your Egyptian set where he's just like, no. No, he's you know that time when there was the spider and I'm never gonna be putting that as a shortcut? The time there was a spider and I freaked out? That's the face I made. Except, you know, I was less Egyptian. When it dies, put a +1/+1 creature. I mean, that could be interesting. Green, black, probably work. Boundary Hornet. It makes creatures small. You know what? You might not be a bad idea. We're going to put one of those in there for now. Question whether we want to go green-black. Demir Spybug, probably not. Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp. Okay. It puts additional counters on things. And it's cheap. It is rare cards, which that does kind of suck a little bit, but you know, it's an option. It's an option. The 1/1, it doesn't have flying, despite the fact it's got a little wing. Oh, because it. What's modular mean? It dies, you can put its +1/+1 counters on other things. I mean, no wait. If a modular triggered ability would put +1/+1, never mind. That's shit. I mean, it's not shit, but it's not helpful. Okay, so in black, we really just have the Foundry Hornet. You know what? We're staying in green. We're gonna go mono green here. And there's not really... There's a couple of insects. Okay. Oh, this guy has black green insects. Why did they not show up before then? Hey, why'd you not show up before? What are you doing? Anyway, let's see what other options we've got. Crawling Infestation. That's mill some cards. Whenever creature cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, get some... Get a insect. No, a insect's not enough. Screwed Swarm. Always a popular one. Whenever a land into the battlefield under your control, get an insect. I want +1/+1 counters on insects. So we're gonna put we're gonna put 4 of those in there. And you can see I've done Scroot Swarms before. Scroot Swarms are fun, but I really need to deal with +1/+1 counters. If I don't do those, then it's not really working. I mean, then we've just made a Scroot Swarm deck. Iceheart's Shaman, search for lands, put that land in play, create some bugs. Look, we'll grab one of those. I don't know if we're keeping it. It makes insects. Yeah, look, it's an insect deck. We can see that already. So at that point, I'm thinking we're definitely going to take Blex and make old Blex do something. That isn't a question. That is a vile spawn question. I was going to say, why is the vile spawn spider not an insect? Oh, there's a spider. And then just make bees. Maybe? Okay, so tokens are what we're after next, right? If I go +1/+1, will that do the thing? No. Counter. Okay. What we want is Interplay. Interplay puts a counter on it. There's a Ninja Turtle. Putting that out there. So I imagine it's probably going to be an enchantment. And it would be in green as well. Roaring Earth. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, a +1/+1 count. Okay, that's not bad, but it's also not what I want. I don't want it to be on one creature. I want it to be on every creature. We'll probably be doing this for about 20, 30 minutes, and then we'll actually play some games. I mean, the hot spring will make the creatures get +1/+1 counters, but again, it's not. Yes, here we are. This is what we're wanting. Renata's power is equal to devotion in green. I don't care about that. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Enters battlefield counter. Okay. Use some. Okay, so you are definitely what I need. because Swarm Shambler needs to be amazing. Roaring Earth. A couple of those. And we'll take up a Hydra's Growth as well, because why not? Hydra's Growth is funny. So we do want more Blex. I'm fairly certain of that. Oh, right. Blex is not an enchantment. Okay, so we're going to take 4 Blex. This is... I've got plenty of wild cards, so I'm not too fussed. Don't know how many times I'll be able to do this, but that's okay. Renata, absolutely 4 of them. Hive Heart. How many Hive Hearts do I have? I got 3. 3 is probably fine. Okay. The next question I've got is... what else do I need? So we've just made a very creature-heavy deck here, which is fine. But we probably need to worry about what's actually else is going to happen. We don't need a lot of lands. I think we... Cards placing counters when the opponent does some action. Yeah, let's just look for counters. That's a good point. A lot of these, a lot of greens removal is like fight the creature, and that's not great. Because generally my creatures are going to be quite small. That might actually be interesting. Swarm Shamblers are going to be slowly growing over there, so we'll take one of those. Who knows? We can always change things around. And honestly, I'm going to replace 3 of my forests for those, because those are amazing cards. The problem is we don't really have any removal, aside from... We don't have any removal at all, actually. I don't know why I said aside from. Opponent having some action. You know what? I think let's go into the artifacts for a second. And let's look at counters there. See if there's anything interesting. What if I type double? Does double do anything cool? I just type it. Anything interesting in green when you double something? Maybe cast instant or sorcery. Yeah, not really casting a lot of instant sorceries, that's the problem. Double power. Fortunately, not really seeing any much more that helps with that. This will kill flyers, you know, maybe a couple of those. And the horn beetles give themselves +1s, but the problem is I'm very creature heavy, and I don't know if I particularly like that. It just really means that when they kill a creature of mine, it'll probably turn into more creatures. That's good, but it does mean that if they get away from me, I do not catch up. What I would probably like to find, and this is going to be kind of a dumb one, but can we find some removal here in like artifacts or something? You know what? The Ozolith control. as control decks. The Ozolith is actually an interesting choice. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on them, counters on the Ozolith. And then all of a sudden the counters are useful somewhere else. That's not a terrible idea. Grab a couple of those. And it's cheap as well, so we can get that in fairly early. How do I feel about the Hornet Queen? Not great. I don't think I actually need... We need the Hornet Queen? Flying and Death Touch would actually be useful. Maybe we'll just keep one. You know what? Maybe this is just the deck for now. 7 wild cards? Sure, why not? Grab some white cards. Yeah, I could do, but it's really more of an insect deck at this point, which is okay. Got 4 Blecks. That was just a waste of wild cards, but I've done it anyway now. Interesting things you can do with this. Okay, so now what I'd like to do... Yeah, stats over 30-30. That's good stuff. You know you're in a good time when you got those sorts of stats. Now, before I go too much further, I would like to get my lands. Now, I'm not worried about forests just yet. We'll get there. Don't you worry. First off, I just want to... If we're going to forests that are possibly some of other things. Yep, a couple of Besajus, why not? Now what I'm doing is sort of just picking lands that come untapped, or they just give me some other benefit. Gone very green, unfortunately. I don't know if unfortunately is the right word for it, but it's what we've done. I feel like there's another thing that says when things come into play, they get counters on them. But for the life of me, I cannot recall it. Okay, now the last part that I've got to do is, and this is the hardest part, I got to figure out what forests to use. And I want to use a pretty one because it's important. Or something with an insect on it is also good. Anything with like a little buggy on it? Buggy? Little buggy? Yeah, bug. Oh, those they look like they could belong to bugs. Yeah, sure. So we want 17 of these. Not important. Yeah, we're gonna go mono green. Little budgie. Yeah, we're gonna go mono green. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that, but look, you know what? We got some magic to play. What is this? We want to go historic. We want to go best of 1, and we are not going to go. We're not going to do this in ranked. Opponent goes first. All right, what have we got? We don't have our most important card, but we do have Blex. Oh, I forgot. I've got this guy. Ooh, tokens. We could always add Blacken because that does give us search for Blex. We've already found Blex. I don't like this. We've got no turn 1 plays, and that's a bit better. We do not need 2 Blexes. Yeah, this is meant to be an artistic representation of Timmy. I don't know why I bought it, but I did. Or I didn't pay real money for it, so it's fine. So that's just going to get shocked. I will tell you that right now. I don't know why I played it. That's alright. Once I have the Ozolith down, it won't matter anymore. Oh man, the Ozolith in this? Oh my god, yes. Okay, I'm actually feeling pretty happy about what's going on here. It looks like Piff the Magic Dragon. Fine. Alright, so we might have a Goblin deck here, which means I could be losing very, very quickly, but that's convenient. In fact, that's a very bad card because we only have one basic land. We're pacing 6 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on things. That's a terrible card for what we've done. So, it's going to die, it's going to get shocked, it's going to... Well, actually, we'll do that. Okay, and then the counter's go on the Ozolith. Okay. Okay. Now we can block with my insect. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter, and I think we do. Right, I forgot. Read the card, Steve. Read the card. You'd know he would kill you before anything else happens. This is going to be a golden deck. This is already going to be rough, and I got to read the card. So anyway, we're going to make another one of these little guys. And, yeah. Move the counters over. So now it's a 3-3, which is actually pretty impressive. No, when it... Hang on, I'll put it here. When it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage. So... Kills thing. I'll let you do the damage, it's fine. I would really love a land. Yeah, the 1 damage happens first. But the good news is he's not attacking with everything, so... But this is a Goblin deck. I'm not expecting to win against a Goblin deck. Okay. While he's having his turn, I will... I'll... My stats here. Stats. Right now we've only had 1 game, so it doesn't count. I feel like you're just going to try and kill my dude, which I think is very rude. I could kill Squee, which is also rather rude. But again, no, I don't. I don't have any mass removal, which is what you need against goblins. And quite frankly, in Historic, you've got to think of how you're going to deal with goblins. Because goblins are very good. Goblins will do that. And it broke my Ozolith. What a rude, crude dude. Okay, and I'm not finding any land. That's, I don't really know how we turn this one around with no lands. You know what? At this point, I think it's quite happy to just be like, no. No, that's going through... Works. There we go. That's going through a text pad document I've got on my, got open. So I can also do this, like, hi, soul burn, and then save. And there it goes. Hi, soul burn. So it's just a text pad document that it's, reading. Yeah, Grobius. That's alright. We can still win. We've got 9 games before that. You know what? It doesn't even matter. If we, after 10 games, that loss doesn't matter anymore. You know what? I've just realized we should have changed the deck before playing the next game. That's alright. How do we feel about this? I'm feeling okay. We do have 3 lands. That was the mistake we made last time. We don't have our signature card, but that's alright. A signature card is not that powerful anyway. A signature card was more of the jumping off point. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the land for now. I don't think it's very likely this card ever actually gets used for the other way, but let's see. There's a little horn beetle, real small, so don't worry about him. Our opponent is playing Grixis colors, which is red, black, and blue. It's the only name I can ever remember. I cannot remember any of the other names for the 3 colors. Just Grixis. Why is it called Grixis? I have no real idea. Something to do with a set that I never played. So you know you're in a good time when you don't even know why it's called. It's something to do with like either I think it's Takia or Alara. I don't know. I never played either of them. This. What a ghost. Threaten me, ghost. Alright, so my opponent. Yeah. That sounds like step 1 for a win. No, he played a card. Rude. Okay. Well, anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to play... This is a risky play, I will admit that. If I want to put a Hydra Swarm on, that sounds like a bad idea. Step 1, I'm stuck. Damn it, I just got it. Damn it. It was a block with 3 color regions. There was a couple of blocks with 3 color regions. Because there was Shards of Alara and then there were Khans of Takia. But I think Shards of Alara might have been the ones with Grixis. Because I think Takia was like tribes. Maybe. I only remember the 2 color pairings. Because that's Ravnica and they've done that 3 times. And I've been there for 2 of them, so... The first and last one. I wasn't there for the second one. That's a cool land. Okay, so he's playing the prismatic... Okay, I see what we're doing here. Going to see some real bullshit, I imagine. I would like to get a land. Give me my Scroot Swarm. I don't really want to be a Scroot Swarm deck, but it does happen sometimes. And look, we're going to do a Hydra Growth. I don't really care at the moment. Gotta try. Attack for 4. Eh. Hello. I mean, this game's going to get worse and worse the longer it goes. I might have a problem. Maybe I'll just get a lot of bugs and it'll be very good. Nope, there's a Phyrexian Praetor. Oh. Ah, no. If an opponent will put 1 or more counters on a permanent player, put half that number of counters. Guys, I've been direct countered by this. Like, directly countered by this. That's bad. So long as that thing lives, I'm in trouble. But at the same time, he didn't attack into me, so that's promising. What? Oh, double counters.
I got a job to do.
Okay, that's directly counted. But very good, very good. Okay, this doesn't look like it's going to go great either. So, what did we learn from this game? We need to have some removal. More than one type of removal, preferably. So this deck, the reason why they kind of got away from me is Legendary Enchantment, the Prismatic Bridge. If that didn't happen, they wouldn't have been able to get all their cool shit. No, this game's over.
I do what it takes to finish the job.
I could keep playing, but there's no way I win with like such counters on the board. That's all right. You know, I don't usually like to quit before the game's over, but that game is thoroughly over. So, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. In the drawing board, we're gonna have a look at what we can do. First off, these Hive Heart Shamans, shit, get rid of them. Infestation Expert, I don't think I was actually enthralled by you. Get out of here. That is actually pretty good, I think. I think I like that. Ozolith, doing work. Proud of Ozolith. So what I want to do is have some enchantment artifact removal. If I type enchantment artifact, it's my step 1 plan. Now I know Jaheira would remove enchantments artifacts. See, there she is. She's got hexproof from artifacts and enchantments. And she can destroy things. That is an option. Another option would be we do have the Flaxen Intruder, aka Goldilocks? It's Goldilocks. Oh, lame. Need something that will deal with kind of cursed idol. Destroy enchantment, destroy artifact, create a treasure and venture into the dungeon. I'm not really doing a lot of venturing into the dungeon, but it's an option. Return to nature. Probably a better choice than you find a cursed idol, to be honest. Outland Liberator is an interesting one. He can destroy an artifact or an enchantment at the cost of 1. He can be a creature, and then later he turns into a werewolf and just breaks things sometimes. Which, you know what? I like that. Okay, then we need a plan to deal with some big boys. Okay? First off, let's look at this nice cat. It's a nice cat. This cat also breaks artifacts and enchantments, but you do have to deal combat damage to them, which is not super helpful. So I took Seiju because it can destroy things. Okay. Next option is, what if I go Death Touch Fight? Is that an option? Not in the way I wanted it to be. No, it's not an option. At least it isn't black, but not playing black. Titanic Brawl, yes, it makes things fight, but does it help? Not really. Because my creatures probably won't have the strength. So that is a problem. My creatures aren't going to be that strong. A lot of things that add like counters and then make them a fight, that might be the best idea, but at the same time, target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you control 3 creatures with different powers, probably not. I don't see that happening. I do want something that deals with creatures, like that pings them, but I would need Death Touch. Speaking of green Death Touch, do we have anything green Death Touch that might be used? Preferably that is an insect. Scorpion. Aren't scorpions insects? Are scorpions insects? That's the question I have for you today. I think yes. You know what? We're not going to ever use statue, we're only going to use status. But that'll be helpful. Okay. Could rename it to V2. Arachnids. Oh, so it shouldn't be. It should be a spider then. Maybe. Alright, after this game, I'm going to tell Panda that we're going to be starting Ask Panda in about half an hour. I do need to set up the table though. It's got different stuff on it now. Now it's got cards on it. Got things like this ghost spider. Do that with the help? Not really. Yeah, we've got ghost spider. On the other hand, it's Gwen Stacy. She's on the table right now. Oh, there we go. All right. Marvel Champions, indeed. I got 2 lands, I suppose. Land's gonna be enough? No, quite frankly. That is a hand that looks like you do something with it. Okay. I'm gonna go. Yes, Marvel Champions. Panda and I play it quite a lot. Yes, it is a popular video. Look at that little doggy. He's so not happy about having his foot caught in the trap. I mean, understandably, I suppose. That one I don't remember the context. But clearly I had to bring in the most something. Okay, so we're going to put the Outland Liberator in, which will make it daytime. It'll be nighttime if he doesn't play a card, and then that'll be most interesting. He is playing 3 colors, green, white, blue. Could be playing more than that, hard to say. He's played Faithbound Judge. At the beginning of your upkeep, right, so he's just going to sit there, and eventually he's going to get mad about me listing. And the worst part is oh, that was around the wrong way. I should have gone Roaring Earth first. Oh, that's a mistake. Then I could add a +1/+1 counter on my dude. But I do not now. That's alright, this is what happens when you're learning a deck. Sometimes you make mistakes. Would have been good not to make that mistake. The Kral Harpooner may actually not be as great as I thought. Because yes, it's great that it can kill flyers. It does need to have one thing in there. Actually, never mind. It might be good again. Change my mind. I love it. This one? Yeah, he's got his paw caught in a trap. And so the guy's like helping him out, and then later, at nighttime, he becomes the werewolf, being like another wolf. Oh, what do you mean? Doggy? What do you mean? So, you don't want to know how much work I had to do to get that dog. That was like at the end of a season pass. Yeah, it is known as the Peaceful Pup. I had to get right to the end of the season pass to be able to get that doggy. A lot of work. Starting in about 20-30 minutes. Oh, she didn't realize I was talking to her. Right. You know what we're going to attack? No, I don't want to attack. No, just chill. And that makes an insect. Okay, so That judge can start attacking next turn. He does have flying vigilance. But all the creatures are destroyed, so it doesn't friggin' matter now, does it? Well. I mean, he used an 8 mana card to do that, so, you know, that's on him. One thing I probably need is a way to draw cards. That might be cool. I think that's probably what this deck lacks, some way of drawing. I mean, his deck is far better than mine, I can guarantee that. He's going to cast another board wipe. 2 guys. I mean, I kind of just want to keep this now, so if he plays another one of these judges... Oh. Okay, so when the Faithbound Judge comes back, he comes back as Sinner's Judgment, and after 3 turns, if the creature's still alive, or the enchantment still exists, you just lose. That's wonderful. But I don't really want to put a creature... Oh, it's nighttime, by the way. Doesn't help anything or change anything, it's just nighttime. Welcome to night. Welcome to Night Vale. I really should listen to more of that. I enjoyed what I listened to of it. When I play a creature, it'll then give the encouragement to play Faithbound Judge. Suppose you gotta do it though, don't you? I assume he's gonna Faithbound Judge. Does he have the mana for it? No, he's a little bit short on the mana. It costs 7 mana to do it. Okay, well for 7 mana you should be having it. Is his deck like friggin' 3 board wipes? Are you kidding me? What is this deck? Here I am being all insecty and shit, and you're like, board wipe, board wipe, board wipe. Like, board wiping a 3/3 is not... It's not gonna kill you. It's a 3/3. He'll stop board wiping after he Sinner's Judgments me, though, I guarantee that. Oops, all Wrath of God. There is some green. Sorry, going back in what you said before, Turtle of Jackets, there is some green draw, but typically it revolves around big creatures. So it's like if you have big creature, then you can draw some card. Renin 7, okay.
Speak your purpose, and perhaps we can avoid violence.
Okay, Renin 7, I don't really care what you do. You look for you look for lands, which is going to be good for you because you're trying to kill me with the Sinner's Judgment. The cards you probably got were cards they balanced for alchemy. I guess I'll take the counter. I mean, there's multiple ways he's going to kick my ass at this point. I think the best idea would just be keep Renin 7 from very high loyalty. Yeah, that is true. Red draws cards through impulse draws, which is like you must play the card that turn or the next one. That's fun. Green draws cards with big stompies or think creatures coming to play. Black draws cards for health. White draws cards for gaining life, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why white would draw cards. Counter. Another board wipe. Okay, Sinner's Judgment, yep. Okay, I am being judged now. So I have 3 turns to win this. It's fine. There is actually a possibility of winning this. Strange one, but there is a possibility. Unless he board wipes, which he probably will, because that's all he does. Here comes the board wipe.
We stand
Oh, he's just going to play a bunch of lands? Okay.
as the ground supports us.
There's the board wipe. We saw it coming. No one's surprised. Yep, sure. My plan there would have been 3+1/+1 counters in their attack, but you know what? That's magic for you, baby. I probably didn't need to play that land, actually. I don't know why I'm being judged as a sinner. You killed your own judge. You're the sinner, not me. I win the moral high ground. He doesn't need to do damage. Sinner's Judgment kills me next turn. Unless I can destroy it. Which I cannot. I just get sad and die because of a judge. Yep, and I lose. So, his whole deck was about getting that Sinner's Judgment. However, you actually raised a really good point there, Soulburn. It's actually technically not auto win, it's auto lose. And if I'd had a way to remove enchantments, which I do have a couple, unfortunately, they're both in here now. That would have allowed me to change it. So what I should have done after I saw the Faithbound Judge, I probably should have held the Outland Liberator, so that way I could destroy the enchantment when he plays it. So that was on me. I could have done something about it. But this deck is a very common sort of one. All it's trying to do is... Oh wow, it's playing Scroot Swarm as well. Cute. All that deck is gets lands, destroys creatures, counter spells. It's just generally... Yeah, and then playing your creature back again if you want it. I guess he had a little bit of a landfall theme there, so he could get lots of bugs. But ultimately, I think his plan was to win through Sinner's Judgment and go from there. That's alright. That happens. That's magic. Alright, I'll be back in just a second. Just going to let Panda know that we'll be starting in 15 minutes. Alright, so 3 losses in a row now. That's okay. I feel like we had a chance in that one, so that's alright. And you know what? You're allowed to have 3 losses in a row. Because if it was win, 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 and then the win was coming off the edge, then I'd be a little bit anxious, but it's not. Is there any change? No, you know what? We don't go another change just yet. One game does not institute a change. Not yet. How did I lose? So he had a card that is quite an expensive card to play. That after 3 turns, if you haven't destroyed the card, you just lose. That's just how that card works. This is interesting, but do I love it? I don't know. Ozolith is actually probably something I really need to think about having more of. The Horn Beetle is cute, but I don't see a strategy with this hand, so no. Yeah, I could probably do something with this. I'm scared of getting rid of the Outland Liberator just because it's the only way I can deal with artifacts for enchantments, and I only have 2 of them. Scroot Swarm, that could probably go. I mean, if I dealt with my Outland Liberators better, I could have dealt with it. This guy's got a 100-card deck. What the actual heck is going on over here? So I could have dealt with it. Also, to cast that, he needed to get to 7 mana. So if my deck was a little bit faster, then that could have killed him. So, you know, there was multiple ways that could have gone better. I mean, it's my fault that I lost. That's what I'm saying. I've got decks that could have easily dealt with that. This isn't one of them. You find some prisoners. You're gonna, what? Play one of my creatures? Okay, just don't play my Mushroom Boy, please. It's the only thing that matters in my life. Ah, red greens cost less. No. What set is that? Alara? Oh no. Rule. That's gotta be a one of the Ravnica sets I didn't play. Okay. Go. You got my Mushroom Boy. My deck strategy. My lands. The hell am I land? I do have an appropriate number of lands in this deck, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to go back and check that. Goodness. Goodness gracious. Then there is a god. God of Destiny. Which is funny, because I don't think Bungie had gods in their game, but, you know, there's the God of Destiny. Exile a card from a graveyard, it gets land, or it just does other stuff. Okay. I can't destroy it, even though it's an enchantment, because it's an indestructible enchantment. Because you can't kill a god. I mean, that's the logic it has anyway. Destiny is a girl's name. Yeah! Colothius. You Greek girl. Got her. Okay, it's daytime. It doesn't really matter, but I will attack with this horn beetle. Yeah, take that damage. I said weak. Okay, now the god is got enough devotion that it can exist as a creature. There's a land. There we go, we play that. We play Blix. Does not boost a werewolf because that's not how werewolves work. Oh, it has to be another creature. All of a sudden this is less good because Blix doesn't affect it. Damn shame, honestly. Look at Blix, he's just a happy little guy. Happy guy. He's not so sure he wants to attack now. No, you still attack. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take the 4, that's not a big deal. I think I want that to go away, quite frankly. Like, that is probably very, very bad. So, what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to play this little horn beetle. I'm going to play this. Boost that, and then they'll both see each other and get +1/+1 counters. Ha 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 ha. And then we're going to attack with this guy. Now, I imagine they're going to block. What if they didn't? Okay, they blocked. They caught on to my ruse. Right. Wasn't a very good ruse. If we don't deal with this god soon, which we actually have no way of dealing with that god, I've just realized. Which is bad. That moment when you realize that you broke my Ozolith. Thank you very much for that. I'm so happy that you exist. Just come in here and break my Ozolith. So rude. Yeah, we're just gonna be dead in 4 turns if I can't deal with that, which I cannot. I mean, Lex could attack and then what? Die? Yeah, mono green might not be the best way to do this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna attack with blacks. You know what? I don't know what I was expecting there. But not that. Yeah, you can have yoga, absolutely. Go for it. Do play another blacks. So maybe we should go into green-black. That'll give us some sort of removal, exiling effects, and it'll be pretty good. I think that might be the best idea. Blex is giving us life gain, so thank you, Blex. Really appreciate it. Like, what a good boy Blex is. Terror of the Peaks, well that's pretty bad. Oh, there's a werewolf here. What is he doing? He deals combat damage, exile a non-land card at random. Oh, it's an arena card, okay. Yeah, either way, this is probably going to be bad. But hey, Blex gets me extra health. Thank you, Blex. He's the hero we all needed. It's Blex! Oh, I was so sad Blex was dead. I'm so glad Blex is back. Guys, Blex is back! Oh, shit, Blex. You're really not helping. I mean, if I attack into them, they just block and then swing back and kill me, so that's not helping. Thanks for trying, Blex. I appreciate it. You've done well. Oh, goodness. Yep. I like how there's a card, like the other side is search for Blex, since like, really I'd like to search for something that isn't Blex at this point. I mean, please find something that's not Blex. Please. It's not Blex. Where's your trample? Oh, Blex is dead again. Quick, let's search for Blex again. Maybe he'll come back. Now this is actually an interesting card. Because now we'll start getting some insect. Not many, but some. Here is actually a viable strategy at this point. Assuming I draw something good, which... You know, maybe I shouldn't have such high optimism at that point. Trampoline gives creatures trample and flying. That'd be a really good joke. That'd be an uncard for sure. Okay, well, yeah. You know what? Life is a resource. It's fine. Good news is what we can do. Play this guy. He's gonna come straight in as a werewolf. What? You can't just put a +1/+1 counter on your dude. That's my dude. But it's game over here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to kill that spider. Get out of here, spider. Oh man, I love that card. There's 2 cats on it, so you know it's a good one. And we're just going to attack into them. The game's over at this point. But you know, it's fun to just attack. Also, the cat tokens are really fluffy, and that makes... I like the fluffy cats. It was game over 10 turns ago. I don't know. There was a couple of options, actually, that would have been quite interesting. Not that they ever came up, but they could have been interesting. This was probably the closest we had to a win. I mean, I know that's not saying much because, you know, it didn't go well, but this was the closest. Yeah, 2 more and 6. Bye-bye. Anyway, that's game. We can stop here. Okay, so what we're finding out is mono green, probably not great. That's alright. I never said this was going to be an easy challenge, I just said it was going to be one. And a challenge it has indeed been. We're going to go back to that. We're going to do a little bit more of this. It's time for setting up for Ask Panda. So we're going to stop playing Magic now. If you don't know what Ask Panda it is, Ask Panda is a section where we do once a fortnight, where chat has asked my wife a bunch of questions, and I'm going to interview her and ask her those questions. So give me 5-10 minutes as I set up, and I'll be right back with you then. So, see you all soon.